Hi, my name is Ethan Doan, and I am from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and this is what I want you to know about Canada. Did you know that from 1896 to 1899, Canada was swept up in the gold rush? The Klondike Gold Rush, as it was called, was started in 1896 when gold was discovered up in the Yukon. Because it was winter, they couldn't ship the gold back to the USA, so they had to wait until 1897 to get the gold back to the USA. When they arrived back in the USA, people noticed, especially the newspapers. The newspapers began to write articles on how much gold there was in the Klondike, how great it would be if you went. And people listened. About 100,000 people went up into the Klondike. And of that, only 30 to 40,000 people actually made it there. And of that, only 4,000 found gold. Now, if you found gold, life in Dawson City was great. There was good food, good bars, good anything you could want. But if you didn't find gold, life was another story. First off, you'd spend days slaving away in another guy's mine, working really hard for them while you got barely any of the reward. And on top of that, the food in Dawson City was really expensive. And yeah, it was just super expensive. Like, here's some prices that of what you could possibly find in Dawson City. Now, the gold rush had to end sometime, and it ended in 1899 when gold was discovered up in Nome, Alaska. Now, unlike the gold in the Klondike, where there might be a little here, then there, then none, and then a whole bunch over there, the gold in Nome, Alaska was fairly evenly distributed, meaning that if one guy found gold, the guy next to him would probably also find gold, and that offered a new level of security that the Klondike did not, and people flocked to this. Now, what do I mean by flocked? Well, in 1898, the population of Dawson City, the hub of the gold rush, was about 40,000, but only 20 years later, the population had dropped to about 1,000, and that killed what was left of the gold rush. But still today, the Klondike Gold Rush affects Canada. For example, in 1895, Canada was starting to slip into a slight depression. But after the gold rush, there was more money in Canada than ever before because the gold and stuff supplied. And also, the Klondike Gold Rush pushed people, supplies, and infrastructure in what used to be isolated Yukon territories and communities that now today are still thriving. For example, Dawson City, which may only be a shell of its former self, is still alive and booming with a population of about 1,375. Now, I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and with it, a story that truly makes me proud to be a Canadian citizen. Thanks.